Good afternoon. I'm honored to be here and present the results of an important work by the Metanet partners in assessing current situation and key challenges for European languages in this digital age. And I'd like to give credits to all the Metanet partners and participants, and especially the FKI team who did an excellent work and contributed to this presentation. I will briefly explain the motivation behind this work, our approach in this, and we'll share some very preliminary but interesting results, and we'll draw up some first conclusions out of this. So, why we need we have to do this work, and do we really need just another survey? There are a lot of papers and books about European languages, but if you look at the language technology field and the purpose and activities of the Metanet, which is targeted at improving situation in language technology field for all European language, both for monolingual and multilingual technologies. First, we should understand what is the current situation with European languages, not just a few, but all of them. Actually, there has never been such study covering all European languages using the same approach and same methodology in language technology field. And the situation with every language is different, because languages are different, language communities are different, and challenges, there are common challenges, but are unique challenges faced by every language. So we wanted to understand this rich language landscape. And so the survey is an overview of the state of each language in the digital society, and it's not only an overview but also estimation of experts about the current situation and status and availability of different language technologies and resources that are soon needed to implement in real applications and use cases. And the target audience actually is not only people in our language technology community, but mostly politicians, decision makers, journalists, and broader society in general. And it's quite important to reach this audience. We understand very well how important our language technology is, but it's not so clear for many politicians. And it's especially important in this period when priorities for research and innovation activities in Europe are being prepared for the future European activities. And so this work was important activity with participation of all the Metanet partners. And we are happy to be able to, in a relatively short time, in just a few months, to be able to prepare those first preliminary versions of reports that you have in your conference materials. And in overall, we have these white papers on 29 languages, covering all official EU languages, plus languages of European Economic Area like Icelandic and Norwegian, major regional languages like Basque, Catalan, and Galician, and languages of countries that would like to join European Union in the future, like Serbian. And all these white papers, of course, are different in content, but similar in structure. They share the same sections with an executive summary, an introductory part which emphasizes the importance of language technologies and describes chances and challenges within European context. And this is a shared part for all language white papers. And the second and the third part of white papers address the specific situation of a particular language and describe the language technology support for this language and available tools and resources. Important aspect of this report is not just to describe the situation, but also to show the chances of application of these technologies in different areas of everyday use, how these technologies can actually help European citizens, industries, and societies. And particularly challenging task was to assess language technology support for every language, how to do that. There could be a different approach to address this task, but we should take into account what the primary purpose of these white papers is to address wider audience, non-specialists in the area, and so we should come out with basic conclusions and messages what could be easily understandable for this audience and not so much with a lot of details. So counting all existing tools and resources would not provide such a message. From other side, coming with a very strict set of criteria and attempting to cover all the languages by the same group of people would be too complicated and time-consuming task. So we took a pragmatic approach, and so for every language, the group of experts did estimations, evaluations in one simple to fill table according to putting scores, ranking according to several criteria like quality, availability, coverage, maturity, sustainability, and adaptability of language tools and resources. And these tools and resources were grouped in basic categories like parsing tools, information retrieval tools, machine translation tools, speech recognition and speech synthesis, and also language resources like corpora, language models, thesauri. This helped us to get, in relatively short time, a good first look at the language situation for all these 29 languages. Also, this is not very detailed study with a certain level of subjectivity involved. This already is a valuable information what helps us to meaningful interpretation of this information, especially for if you look on particular language, the same criteria were used for these experts, but still calibration should be done across all the languages. Such calibration was done in smaller groups for a group of languages, and this work should be continued for calibrating data for all the languages included in this survey. And this table that you see on the slide, it's unreadable, but actually it shows how much data we do have if we summarize just the scores for two central criteria like quality and coverage. And using that data, we can easily come with first preliminary results. And also, this methodology is not very comprehensive. It helps us to draw out the first conclusions. You can see in this small table overall ranking using this quality and coverage criteria for tools and resources, and the scale that was used is from 0 to 6. 0 means that particular resource or tool is non-existent for particular language, and 6 that it's perfect. It couldn't be better. And you can see that the highest score is for basic tools like tokenization, morphology tools. Also, relatively high score was for speech synthesis, parsing tools, machine translation, speech recognition received the average score, and advanced tools and technologies like semantic analysis of text and language generation tools or advanced discourse processing is non-existent for many languages or in early stage of development.